Is that cost extra?
Sure.
And they'll hesitate to tell you some critical stuff because they're not sure if they're opening a new can of worms.
Yes, yes. Well, and I am, some people would just say, our friend Bob Blankenship accuses me of being a Luddite, right? That I'm anti-technology. I'm really not. But I handwrite my notes, and part of that is helpful in allowing people time. So as I'm taking a note, because I'll say, well, you know your family better than I do. And then what that form that they downloaded doesn't know to ask is, I've got children and grandchildren, and I've been married for 40 plus years. And so in dealing with all these people, I know a question to ask. Well, I know Sally is your oldest, but is there a possibility, since Sally lives in Amarillo and since Mary lives, you know, in the mid-cities, that Mary might be a better choice for that? I know you told me that Sally was maybe going through some cancer treatments, and so she might not be readily available to be able to help out on a power of attorney. Is there a possibility? But those conversations, while we can't predict the future and we do imperfect estate planning, right? I say that all the time. We're going to do your estate plan in a broken world, and we're going to name mortal folks. We're going to name people who are going to get sick and hurt or die eventually. So we can't perfect this. We're not omniscient, but we can talk about hedging our bet with some insights into the family. We do this all the time. You've got somebody who is not a great candidate right now because they're 25 years of age. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a real possibility that that might be your third choice, because these first two choices that are great, we think, for the next 5 or 10 years may not be a great choice 20 years from now. So to build shelf life into the document, you think strategically about how we're going to arrange these things. Again, will it be imperfect? It will be imperfect. But I use this with regard to redundancy. We've got seat belts with shoulder straps, we've got anti-lock brakes, and we've got airbags. Now, I know people that I'm pretty sure would think I'll just put on my seat belt right before the accident, right? So I'm going to wait and do my estate planning.
Or afterwards
Right.
and say it was on.
Right. Yes. So I could try to figure out how to do that, but if we're going to get out ahead of it so we can do the documents, put them in a safe place, and then not worry about them, then some of this planning is going to need to be redundant in the way that anti-lock brakes and airbags and all the wonderful things we have that make our cars slightly safer. Now, with all that safety equipment, do people still get hurt and actually killed in automobiles? Of course they do. So no matter how good your plan is, if you try to make it last too long, if you don't do any maintenance on it ever, then it can become problematic. But come in, tell your story. Don't have to use any words from a profession that you don't practice. Mm-hmm. And we can almost always figure it out. By the way, if your lawyer's so inexperienced that they can't figure out from your story, might be a good idea to call another lawyer. Because sometimes they'll think they practice in that area, or they've practiced a little in that area,